Now we're going to take a look at Secret Agent. Very basic riff, and the song is stuffed full of slide guitar. So we're going to be taking a look at the slide parts in it and the main big slide solo in it. Let's get that first opening intro out the way. Once you've got that intro, it's pretty much the same riff throughout the song. So let's take a look. I'm going to play it and take you through it. Here we go. So this song is in the key of A. There's our A power chord, 2nd fret, and you're concentrating on flicking on and off this 2nd fret on the G. You've got to bounce from the open A string, and you've got to hammer on the D string on the 2nd fret as well. So we've got to pull off from the G2 to the open G, and hammer on from the open D string to the D2, whilst bouncing off the open A. But if I play it really slowly, it becomes pretty obvious. So here we go. So I'll do that again. I'm going to bounce from the open A, 2 hits on the open A. We've got a little flick on and off to the G2, bounce from the open A again, and then we've got a hammer on to the D, D2, up to the open G, and then back to the A. So if you put that together, we get. And then one more time. And what really gets the sound is if you can, try and use hybrid picking. So it means using the plectrum on the open A string, but wherever you're doing the hammer-ons and the pull-offs on the G and the D string, you want to use that 2nd finger just there, and you get a real slap. You get a real slap to the sound. It's the same when we go up to the next part of the riff. It's like a C over A to a D over A. Here's our C power chord, but we're using just these 2 notes, the 5th fret on the D and the G, with an open A, and you get a. So you can see it's not like strumming the riff. You're actually snapping at the notes. You're pulling all the notes at once. Obviously it goes up to the 7th fret just there, and I'm using my 3rd and my little finger. And then that's the next part of the riff. It goes to the same place, the 5th fret on the D and the G, but goes to a G chord over A. So there's a little G chord, 5th fret on the D, 4th fret on the G. And again, I'm snapping the D and the G strings with my 3rd finger and my 2nd finger. So if we can put the riff all together, you see it in context. So there's a little trick Rory does quite a lot. Hit the harmonic, and then you've got to behind the nut bend. So I'm going to hit the harmonic, that G5 on the G string, the 5th fret. And then, because Rory didn't use a whammy bar and he used a 61 Strat, you can get the harmonic to leap up by actually pressing down on the G string behind the nut. So it causes havoc with your tuning, especially if you're playing a 62 Strat, but here we go. So basically that's the trick. And then you're into the riff. Once you've got the riff is exactly the same throughout the song. Just one tiny thing, just to close on this riff. The very first time you hear him flick onto this riff at the very intro, this little, he does a little double flick on that first note, the first bounce on the G, the G2. So it's a double. You hear, try kind of flick it on as quick as you can. But from then on out, it's just a normal on-off on the G2. So the first one you hear is a, and that's the only time it happens.